Hello, this is Jamie Magridge. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card. So let's get started. I used Night of Navy, Pacific Point, Bermuda Bay, and Versamark ink. I used this sentiment from the Happy Thoughts dies and the Merry Snowflakes. I used this one and this one. I have a 1 1/4 by 4 inch piece of Coastal Cabana. I have a 2 1/8 by 5 1/2 inch piece of Coastal Cabana. I have a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of Night of Navy. 2 little strips, they're I think 1/4 inch or a little more than 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch. They're just scraps of silver foil paper. I have a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece of the silver foil, which I've cut the center out of so I can use it for another project. And I have my card base, which is thick white, which is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored and folded at 4 1/4. Okay, so first thing, let's put this aside. First thing I'm going to do is come in with the Night of Navy piece. And I'm going to bring in the Night of Navy ink. And this swirl. I'm going to ink that up. And on the right hand side, I'm going to stamp it once. And then I'm going to ink it again, and I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to stamp it again. And then I'm going to wipe it off because I'm just going to ink up the bottom half of it this time. And I'm going to stamp it once more. Okay, so I've got that. Alright. Place this aside for a minute. And let's bring in this strip, which is 1 1/4 by 4 inches. And I think I used Pacific Point for this, but I don't remember, so we're going to design this card quite some time ago. And I'm going to stamp this right in the center of it. Perfect, that's what I used. And then I'm going to bring in the tailored tag punch. I'm going to push this to unlock it. And I'm going to flag this end. I just want to line it up so that those two corners are pretty close to the same. And punch it. Okay, so there's that piece. Okay, now I'm going to bring in this piece. Close this ink up for a minute. And I'm going to bring in my versamark and my embossing buddy. This is just to get any oils or statics off of it so that my embossing powder only sticks where the versamark is. And I'm going to bring in the snowflakes, and I've mounted all 3 of them onto one block. I'm going to ink this up. I'm going to stamp it onto my Bermuda Bay 1 1/4 by 4 inch strip. Oh, this is not 1 1/4 by 4. This is 2 1/8 by 5 1/2 inches. Okay. Then I'm going to come in with the silver embossing powder. Didn't come out very well. Alright. I'm going to funnel this back into the pot so I don't have a big mess. In my heat tool. And I like to do my heating onto this cutting board just because it gives it a surface to work on that's heat tolerant, and it helps to deflect the heat a little bit, I find. So I get less working. Can you see it turning? Melts that powder into a shiny metallic finish. Okay, awesome. Alright, now, take this out of the way. And I'm going to use my blending brush. I'm going to start at the skinny end with the Bermuda Bay ink. Get some ink on there. And I'm going to ink the Bermuda Bay on this first snowflake, going down towards the second snowflake. I do find it dulls the silver a little bit, so you might want to do your inking first and then emboss on top of it. This is the way I did it, so that's why I'm doing it this way. Okay, then I'm going to come in with Pacific Point. I'm using the same brush. I'm not changing brushes. You can just wipe it off a little bit if you think it's too much on there. Go ahead and ink this up. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Okay. I'll continue with this color. Blend those two a little bit together. Continue down. Oops. You want to try to start off the page so you don't end up with those streaks. Okay, then I'm going to go with the Night of Navy. Start off the page. And this is a plastic surface, but you can do it on your paper surface as well. Or your silicone craft sheet would work good for this, behind this. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's close this up. Now you're going to take a clean spot on your rag or paper towel or tissue, and you're going to buff over the top of those silver elements to try to get any ink that's sitting on top of them off. Alright, I'm going to take a little bit of this stamp cleaner. I'm going to go ahead and wash off my surface. And I want just the tiniest little bit on my rag. I don't want it wet, I just want it a little bit of that cleaner, and then very lightly I'm going to go over the top of these with that cleaner, just to try to get it a little bit shinier. Okay, now we can assemble our card. Okay, on the back of this, we're going to come in with some glue. We're going to put a little line of glue real close to the edge here. Tiny little line, you don't need a lot. A couple dabs will do ya. We're going to line up these short little scrap pieces to give us a little bit of a border on either side of this snowflake one we did. Quite a bit of tremors today, I don't know why. Whoa. Okay. Get dimensionals. Yeah, that had dimensionals on the back, so that's in the dimensionals. Set that aside. Now I'm going to take the silver foil piece and I'm going to glue it to the front of my card. And I'm going to take the Night of Navy piece that we stamped the side on. I'm going to glue that over the top of that. Take off the backings on this. This is going to go here. Lines up with the top and the bottom edges. Okay, then we're going to bring in this piece. And this I just need dimensionals on these ends. figure out where you want it, and since I don't have a lot of embossing there, I think I'm going to put it a little bit lower this time. And this edge is going to go over here at the edge. Yeah, I think it'll go right there. Then I'm going to finish it off with some of these metallic pearls. Got some silver ones here. I'm going to use my take your pick tool. Just going to scatter a bunch of these on here. Whoops, didn't stick. Come on, stick. There we go. Well, there's the card we just made together. Here's the one I did previously. Well, thank you so much for joining me today at Jamie's Craft Table. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you can find a little bit of time to play with some stamps, ink, and paper.